Hi there. Welcome to Apple World. Now that Kate Moss has been engaged with the preliminary by Amber Heard, it's taken the situation to one more level as she's possibly being called to the substitute. In the next few days, we'll look at all the most recent data encompassing the preliminary and how this affects both Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. If Kate Moss chooses to affirm, Kate Moss truly will stand up, and what this implies for both Depp and Heard. Johnny Depp group celebrate Amber Heard. Goofy fanatics of Johnny Depp have much more reason to accept that he will win the body of evidence against Amber Heard. Following seeing a new video in the film, the entertainer discusses how she felt her life was compromised on different occasions. While within the sight of her ex, sadly for her, she committed one more error, which will be utilized against her when the preliminary starts 1 week from now. This closely relates to one of Johnny Depp's previous lady friends, Kate Moss. In the mid-1990s, the entertainer and the supermodel dated for north of 3 years and were found to be profoundly enamored. Amber Heard claims she heard Depp push Kate Moss down a stairway during her declaration from 2 unique observers. When she uncovered the previous model's name, lawyer Benjamin Chu applauded and, surprisingly, made a clench hand with a gigantic grin all over. For what reason did he act thusly? At first, Depp's legal counselors attempted to put Kate Moss on the rundown of favorable to Depp witnesses, yet the court decided that she had no connection to the case. Amber heard of Moss's notice, and then again interfaced her to the case, permitting her to be called an observer. Kate Moss would guard Johnny Depp and explain the charges about his tossing her down a stairway as per insiders. Kate Moss moved down the steps by Johnny Depp Amber's voice, which was recorded referring to Kate Moss's name prior to venturing off the stand last week, and trying to legitimize her confirmation of attacking Johnny Depp Amber. She guaranteed she was apprehensive her life partner would push her more youthful sister Whitney down the steps angrily after a 2015 question. She said, "I in a flash considered Kate Moss and the steps, and I swung at him." At that very time, individuals from Johnny Depp's lawful group were noticed clench hand siphoning in celebration of what had simply happened. All we found was a 1994 episode that purportedly began 2 or 3's challenges as he left the Imprint Inn in New York City, where he purportedly had a vicious contention with the supermodel Johnny Depp. They completely destroyed the spot and were expected to pay harms of around $10,000. Moss then again had all the earmarks of being safe during the battle lately. Both have said decent things about each other and communicated a lament for not broadening their relationship. Assuming Moss stands up, all signs are that she will uphold Johnny Heard. Kate Moss, when examined regarding her experience with Johnny Depp, expressed that there's no one who, at any point, truly had the option to deal with me. Johnny did. I was fortunate to be with Johnny. The way that this emerged from Kate Moss herself demonstrates what sort of individual Depp endlessly is the fundamental explanation why the whole world is favoring him. Ideally, throughout these next few weeks, equity is found and Amber gets declared liable before the world Amber Heard companion uncovered. Johnny Depp, as indicated by the upsetting declaration in the previous life partner's slander preliminary Johnny Depp, who uncovered to Amber's colleague that he had participated in rage exercises in his past associations with Winona Ryder, Kate Moss, and Vanessa Spoff, Miss Group's companion. Until it was right, told the court in a pre-recorded declaration on Tuesday that Mr. Depp trusted in him and that he had colossal episodes of desire in connections that energized his liquor abuse. He encountered extraordinary episodes of envy in connections that had likewise prompted a great deal of drinking, and a ton of fury exercises affirmed he let me know that that occurred with Winona. He let me know that that occurred with Kate. Sorry, Winona Ryder and Kate Moss. He let me know that that occurred with Vanessa Spoff. He reviewed one discussion where Mr. Depp purportedly said that Miss Heard had no ability and that all she has is her looks. When her tea begins to droop and she gets wrinkly, nobody will be intrigued. He reviewed Mr. Depp's statement about his significant other. Johnny Depp focuses on his relationship with Kate Moss. A year after the pair's separation in 1997, Depp discussed their separation in a meeting with Hey magazine, conceding that he was to blame for their separation. "I've never gotten that profound over a lady before," Depp took part in 1998. "I've been so idiotic on the grounds that we had so much going for our relationship. I'm the person who needs to get a sense of ownership over what happened. I was challenged to continue ahead, but I let my work disrupt everything. and I didn't offer her the consideration I ought to have given. She proceeded to say that his profession fixation hindered his relationship with Moss. The entire situation was insane in light of the fact that I ought to never have been so stirred up over what individuals needed to say regarding my work. He added, "Sure, I ought to think often about my films, but when I return home, I ought to attempt to abandon that stuff. I was unable to do that, and I was horrendous to reside with. Trust me, I'm an aggregate on occasion." Amber Heard loses her cool after questioning. Later, 2 debilitating long periods of addressing Johnny Depp's legitimate group wound up its questioning of Amber Heard by testing her on her relationship with James Franco and making claims that she attacked her ex Camille Vasquez. Depp's attorney finished her questioning by raising charges that she attacked her ex-girlfriend Van Rhee in 2009. Heard was captured after 2 police purportedly saw her smack Van Rhee in the arm and take her adornments off. However, the charges were quickly dropped. "Johnny Depp isn't the main accomplice of yours that you've attacked," Vasquez said. "I've never attacked an accomplice." He demanded that "I've never attacked Mr. Depp or some other individual. I was sincerely connected to the entire Vasquez-examined crowd regarding the reason why James Franco paid her a visit at her Los Angeles loft in May 2016. The day after a savage quarrel with profundity that finished their marriage, the court recently heard that Depp was jealous of Franco and associated himself with engaging in extramarital relations with him. The jury was given video of Franco and Heard in the apartment complex's lift. "You knew that Mr. Depp was away on May 22, 2016, didn't you?" Vasquez asked the group, adding that the visit came the day after she changed the locks. "I didn't have the foggiest idea about his timetable. He was my companion, and he lived plainly nearby. I depleted my encouraging group of people, and I was glad to welcome so much fellowship, as I might actually get why the preliminary might be stretched out. The preliminary should end on Thursday, May 19, yet it was deferred until Monday since there is still a ton of proof to be introduced. Judge Penny Escarate has informed the 7 members of the jury that consultations will start when the end contentions are given on May 27th, so there is an end in sight kind of essentially on the grounds that once the consultations are over doesn't ensure we will get a choice that day. The members of the jury need to proceed to examine. They might pursue a choice in an hour, or they could banter for a really long time. Gracious, please know that we'll need to sit back and watch. At any rate, we'll figure out the decision in half a month time, and as it's getting to the end phases of the preliminary, this is when all that will heighten from the 4 or so long stretches of the preliminary up to this point. Who do you feel has given productive proof, Johnny Depp's group or Amber Crowd's group? Leave your contemplations in the remarks. Subscribe Apple World for more videos.